Morning and welcome to our World Sports Betting Morning Show. It's Saturday morning, just past 7 o'clock from myself, Alistair, and the rest of the gang. Very warm welcome to you. Hope we steer you in the right direction and entertain you for the next hour and a bit. We don't have much time until our first trip to Australia, so I'm going to introduce the other three lads in just a moment. But the one guy I'm going to introduce now is Dom Zaki. Dom, racing in Australia today. This is everyone else, by the way, and we're having a great conversation just before we go on air, and we'll reveal what we've been talking about in about 5 minutes' time. But it's all about Dom for now. And yesterday you came to me with one of those moods. Ooh, what's going on in Australia today?
Yeah, we got two nice races in Australia, 6 and 7 today. At race 6 today, I'm going with the Simulate. We haven't got much time, so I'm going to just tell the viewers out there and the punters
a 4-to-1 shot
to get on now, because I'm really confident with this. This prediction, Hugh Bowman, he's riding it. Got a little bit of a deep draw. If he overcomes the draw, I think he'll win.
Okay, Hugh Bowman, of course, rode Wings last week, and he's penciled in to come for International Jockeys Challenge this year.
Lovely, yeah. Top rider, and it'll be great to have him.
Okay, so World Sports Betting have 4-to-1 on a Simulate. Gary's getting the iPad out to get onto World Sports Betting. Rod's getting the old PC out, and Terry's getting the typewriter out, and that's not going to help you. But anyway, we're off to Rose Hill for the 6th race. They will start loading in just a moment. After this, we'll get Dom's opinion on race number 7 from Rose Hill, also get a little bit of insight into Turfentine a bit later on, and we'll reveal what Rod's doctor said to him during the week.
Who rode Black Dahlia?
That's just put a bit of a tick with that form late in the day here. 2, Simulate. If he gets breaks in the run, he's going to be very, very strong. And look out, Sambro doesn't upset a few here at good odds. 5, 9, 2 and 4.
Okay, Glenn Munsey, take us through your market with tab.com.au.
Yeah, well, our market at the moment, Greg, Addictive Nature the favourite, but we've had 3 different favourites for this race so far today. Addictive Nature back into a solid favourite now at $3.40 after it got to as much as $4.60 after the second race today. Now back into $3.40 favourite. And on the NOP, $3.90 at best into $3.40. On the second line of betting is the 7 Runaway, who was $4.80 this morning, got into as short as $3.70. He's back to $4.20. He's 4 to $4.40 into $3.40, back to $4.20. On the NOP, and the Simulate, who was favourite this morning when we did the preview, firming from his a high of $4.20, got into $3.40. He's back out to $5. Still the most popular runner with us today, but he's out to $5. Mahalanga, the 9, really, really solid. He's been 6 or 7 basically the majority of the day. Bit of a jump to Astoria, who's been fairly solid around the $11 mark. Interesting to hear Ronnie's comments that, you know, someone's going to back him at a price. Well, he can't get past $12, put it that way. Sambro, who touched a high of 16, is now 13. Hypnotist is the one that's out the gate, $8.50 to 16. And the other 2 horses, Colesberg and Die Kingdom Come, $41 chances. In another 10 cents now, Addictive Nature, $3.30 favourite as they're behind the barriers for the Ming Dynasty.
All right, Addictive Nature there walking around, and also Mahalanga. Recapping your thoughts here, Duff, we're about 90 seconds out.
Yeah, I want to give him another chance, Addictive Nature here. I can't see a lot of pressure here. You know, you've got a horse that won at 15.50 that looks the leader here, and I reckon he pushes Addictive Nature across. I think Sambro finds third defence, and the others have got to sort out run-of-the-rate stuff to suit themselves. That's how I'm reading the race. So it might be a little bit harder for these back markers in this race. So I'm gambling that he can just park right on him here, Addictive Nature, and at 1,400 metres, he'll give a bigger kick. Hopefully they just check his tongue. He looks like he's got it over the bit there behind the barrier. But anyway, he looks a lovely quality horse to me.
Get on the phone, Duff.
Exactly. He'll put it.
Storia going up. We've still got about half a dozen out, Glenn.
He's into $3.20, Greg, Addictive Nature. So all he's done since they went on the track is firm up. He's now got $1 advantage over Runaway, who's a $4.20 chance. Assimilate stays 5. Mahalanga just out a fraction to $6.50, and Astoria stays an $11 chance. But he's going to run a clear favourite now in the Ming Dynasty, and that is, of course, Addictive Nature.
All right. Well, Duff won a San Domenico, and he also used to ride Ming Dynasty Work, isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right. He holds a great place in my heart, Ming Dynasty. I learned to ride on him. He was an absolute beauty. He was a gentleman and a great horse.
Gee, it's a memorable day for you. Ming Dynasty quality and San Domenico Stakes Day.
Town and rough habit.
It'll be a memorable day if I can back a few winners, that's for sure.
He won the 1986 San Domenico on gallery level, and he learnt to ride on Ming Dynasty. 2 races where they've named today. Here's Addictive Nature, just getting a hurry up. Assimilate still out, Colesberg, and the other one to come up will be Runaway. Let's go to Darren Flindell now for the Ming Dynasty.
Forward, there's 3 out. And Colesberg and Wolf Mueller's colours going forward. We wait on Assimilate. Been very coltish behind the gates, the Sebring colt. Unbeaten in 2 starts. Has given away a bit of a start on both occasions. And the speedy Runaway, drawn the outside for Rachel King. She's ridden a double here today. And a Runaway goes up. And the light's on now for the Ming Dynasty quality. 1,400 metres. Gates open now, the Rough and Racing and Hypnotist jump well, so did Addictive Nature and Runaway the deepest, surging forward. They're followed by Sambro, Thy Kingdom Come, a story between runners. 2 further back to Colesberg from Mahalunga, and Assimilate settles last about 6 off the lead. Addictive Nature has it early with Runaway getting across into second, and Hypnotist hands up in third, followed by the Maiden Thy Kingdom Come. Then came Sambro from Astoria. Further back to Colesberg and the Pink Blinkers on the outside of Mahalunga. And 2 lengths away to Assimilate last. Addictive Nature holds the front of the 800 metres. A neck in front from Runaway. Hypnotist with a drop shot on them third. A head back to Thy Kingdom Come. 3 back the rails then is Sambro and the inside of Astoria. Further back to Mahalunga from Colesberg, and Assimilate is right out the back as they come to the turn. It's Addictive Nature and Runaway eyeballing each other at the 450. Hypnotist right behind them looking to peel to the outside from Thy Kingdom Come, and then came Astoria into the straight. Addictive Nature in front of Runaway. Hypnotist in the centre struggling. Further back to Astoria, Mahalunga, and Assimilate's cutting loose on the outside. It's Addictive Nature, 200 out. Addictive Nature in front from Assimilate and Astoria. Addictive Nature still in front. Assimilate is coming hard the outside. Addictive Nature and Assimilate, they hit it. And Addictive Nature, I think, just held on. Addictive Nature by a half head there to Assimilate, a cracking run. Then came Astoria from Mahalunga and Hypnotist. Further back to Sambro, Runaway, Thy Kingdom Come, and Colesberg.
Okay, well, I thoroughly enjoyed that. So did World Sports Betting. Dom didn't enjoy that too much. Assimilate getting touched off in that race out at Rosehill. Yanked at the back of the field. Bowman tried to time it just like he did with Winks, but unfortunately Assimilate is no Winks. Right, let's say hello to everybody else. Terry's back.
Morning, morning.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Yes? You've been to the doctor lately?
No, not lately. Rod has, though.
Has he?
He's been telling me all about it, yep.
Yeah, we'll find out more about that. Terry, but Premier League?
Yeah, Premier League, last part of this. Can you believe it? The break after this.
Already.
I mean, you can't believe already. I mean, it just disturbs everything that you've been sort of working for, really. But, you know, some interesting games today, and interested to see who's top of the log at the moment. But I don't think that'll last. I saw the worst Premiership game I've seen.
Yes.
I've seen the worst Premiership game I've seen by 2 teams who, regardless where they are in the league at the moment, I think they're certainly for relegation. Huddersfield, who got 6 points, and Newcastle have got none. That was the worst game I've seen in the Premiership since its beginning last week. Absolute shocker. No quality whatsoever. They produced one bit of quality. That's all they had during the game that got them the result.
Huddersfield are second.
Well, they've got 6 points out of 6. Believe me, shocking. Both of them. Newcastle got absolutely no chance.
Really? Are they going down?
I think they're absolute certainty.
Bob Byram's going to be happy
enough,
to
so
hear
does the manager. The manager thinks so as well.
Who? Huddersfield or Newcastle?
Newcastle.
Gary, how was Mauritius?
Excellent, matey. All
Was
good,
it?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Yeah.
You enjoy the cooking outside the hotel room and all that?
Yeah, everything went well there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I put on a special fare for us.
What's around your wrist? Is that a handcuff tan?
Yeah, I had a small issue there with the Mauritian police. They're a little bit sensitive about filming their airport, you know. A little bit sensitive, but it all worked out well in the end, you know. Reason prevailed and no harm done.
How long do you have to save up to get enough cash to go to Mauritius?
Alistair's going for 2 weeks
well,
with all his mates for 1,500 rand, 5-star hotel.
He's in a different class
How he
league.
does it, I don't know.
Different pay
It cost
grade.
me 50 times that. He goes there for nothing.
Okay.
Do you? For free?
I'm not going for free.
1,500 rand for 2 weeks.
Discounted, is it? Be
You
honest.
call in races
More
while
like
you're there.
dollars. I don't know. I might
You're
go
gonna call
racing.
races
I might
while
go
you're there.
racing.
Yeah, it was cool.
They don't know much about you there.
No.
Because I don't get...
That's a good thing, because all the other South Africans they know about end up in trouble.
They don't get teletrack, right? They watch their racing through another, like, French type
Another
of
free
thing.
canal.
Yes, correct, exactly. There you go.
Do you know peroxide's not good for your hair? I just want to bring that
Not
up.
using peroxide. It's come out a different colour. It's come out straight. I actually quite like it. Just needs to thicken
Was
up
it
a
always
bit.
that colour?
No.
A couple
I'm not dyeing it.
Is there a tint?
No, there's nothing.
Do you have the foils ready?
Listen, how's your health? How's your health? Because you've been to the doctor. You've told us what the doctor said. Tell everyone what the doctor said to you.
Yeah, I haven't got long. But no, I actually, first time ever, I've actually walked out of a doctor's. First time ever. Well, because people don't turn up on time here. I mean, we're busy people. I had to walk out. My wife was distraught, eh?
But you had to go back because your wife said no.
Well, we did our shopping
Rod, you
first.
don't look very well, so let's go to the doctor and see what he has to say. So you went back.
Yeah, I went back and then he said, I've got to go for lots and lots and lots and lots of tests.
That's not good news.
So anyway,
What's that white spot on your hand?
It's a mild form of leprosy, Terry.
Thanks very much. Put you on an island. Put you on Robin Island, you.
I've been on a few Robins.
Who does his hairstyle look like? Somebody else in racing. So you should know.
Oh, no.
A breeder.
A breeder.
A breeder's got a similar hairstyle to that.
I was thinking of an owner, but
I was also thinking it was going to go that
I was
direction.
thinking a
If you
guy...
put a cigar in his mouth, he could be Philip Kahan.
yes, Philip
He could be
Kahan,
Philip
yeah.
Kahan's
That's
son.
it, yeah.
If you put a cigar in your mouth, you could be
Philip
Philip
Kahan's son.
There you go.
You're going to run with that now, aren't you?
Gee.
I was going to go with Robert Garner.
Well, and also a bit of a mixture.
No, who's that guy who writes you look a lot like?
Yeah,
The writer, what's his name?
Robert Garner.
Robert Garner.
No, the other one.
The one that wears the
Oh,
braces.
Jack Milner.
Jack Milner. He's a dead ringer for him.
Listen, I wish I knew as much as Jack does. Very clever man, that.
What about his hair?
All right. Right, now, what are we going to talk about now? Let's move on to the next race at Rose Hill. Dom, you need to make amends because World Sports
Oh, he's
Betting...
unlucky there.
We were
Right.
unlucky. Hugh
Come
Bowman
on,
gave
yeah.
it a yank from a deep draw.
yeah, if it wasn't drawn badly, we definitely would have won. And we were very unlucky. Came too late. I think it was a great ride, although he got beat.
Yes.
It was a great ride, just
Well, you had
unlucky.
two options from a bad draw. Either sit back or
yeah.
commit.
Yeah, 100%. He did the right thing, I think, and it's just unlucky. It's a nice horse to Assimilate. We'll keep our eye on him for next time.
And you're not going for the favourite here?
This race we are.
Pariah.
The Pariah definitely all the ticks all the boxes, and I think it's going to be the one to beat. All the sites are tipping Pariah. It's coming off a little bit of a layoff, but it's had two great trials. The barrier trials were top class. It won both barrier trials. It wasn't suited to the wet conditions last time. That's why it ran a bit poorly. But it's back in the firm conditions today, and I think it's going to take a power beating. I think the guys must get out of it on that.
Are you reading off a script?
No,
I can see what
I'd
he's got
study.
here.
I just got the field in front of me.
Just got all the other horses.
You've done your homework. You really have.
Yeah, but also I wanted to just ask Teddy's opinion here. I want to take a treble today in the soccer. I did a bit of homework in the soccer as well.
Yeah, what have you come up
The
with?
treble is Man City, Man United, and Swansea.
Why
What do you
Swansea?
say?
Swansea.
Swansea
Listen to me, Swansea will win today
at Crystal Palace.
at Crystal Palace.
Swansea are the worst side with Newcastle and
Okay.
Huddersfield I've seen.
Listen to. I'm a statistic guy, right?
Yeah,
So I've studied the stats on this.
yeah.
They've met 12 times,
Yeah.
Swansea and Crystal Palace.
We call it horses for courses. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
And 11 out of the 12 times Swansea has thrashed them.
No,
What did the last time they played at Sellers Park? A
5-4.
brilliant game, 5-4. They came from
Correct.
behind.
yeah.
Yeah,
you
it
know
was
that
brilliant.
stat, Terry?
I remember that
I didn't
game.
know that stat, no, but because I don't look at those, because they make no difference. Yeah, because they make no difference what's gone on before.
All I'm telling you,
But
they're 33%
that's interesting.
today.
Yeah, the only thing is with Swansea, they've lost the best player they're ever going to have.
Their only
He's
player.
gone.
Yes.
And the big boy up front is still not fit. He broke his arm. They thought he'd be fit for this week. He's not playing, Lorente. So, they're very short. They've gone into the marketplace. But against Southampton had 29 shots against 0.
What?
And Southampton,
One shot every 3
29
minutes.
shots against 0. And they drew
And you
nil.
couldn't score a goal.
And they drew 0-0. Can you believe that? So they look desperate, and they've been beat 4 by
Talk about
Man
looking
United.
desperate. Have you seen the state of him?
Well,
What do you mean?
You just sit there like...
yeah,
like
but that's a
you
good treble, though.
I'm
Not a
intrigued.
bad
Treble.
one. Take
Yeah.
a chance.
No,
What
no.
does it work out to? 12 to 10?
Yeah,
4 to 10?
that's about
33
11 to 10.
33
so
to
2
10.
times 8 to 1. 9
All
to
to
1.
go, Pariah?
9 to 1. She's 20-41.
There we go. We'll
Gee,
get
there you
25,
are.
26
Very
to 1 in
good.
World Sports. Small little bet. and that's where I'm going
Okay,
to
no,
go.
let them follow Dom. Why not? You know what I mean? You could be a hero.
Have you found anything at
We'll see.
Turffontein today, by the way?
Yes, we have. We got last week it tipped at 6-1 and it won.
did.
Yes, well
Yeah,
done.
so
She's a dragon.
she's a
Any
dragon.
dragons today?
Any dragons? I think I've got the best bet of the day at Turffontein today, which is it's a very tough card, but I'm going for Artax today.
Artax. Mark
Yep.
Azzi, Mark and Adam. The Asman, as Nico likes to say.
The Asmen today are going to show them, and with Piet Stadium drawn one, I think it's looking for the mile. Course and distance suited. Artax is for me the double with Gary.
6-1.
No,
That
I
starts
think
6
it's
to
5-2.
22 to 10, yeah.
She's a dragon was 6-1 until I mentioned it to Gary, and it started 3-1.
It wasn't me. Last week, whatever I had in WSB, I went and put on what the guy that was sitting next to me,
Tabo.
Tabo, September.
Yes. I'm Ashley, that's Temba, yes.
Yes. So if you put Tabo and September together, come to Temba, right? So I backed what Temba told me, right? Polokwane City. I don't even know where they are. I don't know one player. Whatever I had, every cent I had, I put on to Polokwane. They never had a shot on goal, just like Swansea. Boom, 0-0. I arrived in Mauritius suicidal. There you go. But you see,
Yes.
You're going the
well, I've got All
Blacks
Blacks outside because my rugby tipping, as you'll see from my best bet later, there has been drama with that.
Oh.
Been drama. I tipped two teams minus 16.5. They both lost off level.
You look puzzled. No, the double comes. Artax and
I'm just saying.
24 to 10 New Zealand. Jeez.
That's okay.
Would have been a
yeah,
tough.
That's right. Yeah.
How's your tipping been, by the way?
Well, I can't remember the last time I tipped. What was it? 3 out of 4, I think it was. Well, the one that let us all down, Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
All the rest won.
Against Burnley.
Chelsea let about 20 million others down as well against Burnley.
Well, the next person to come on the show had a very, very good effort last week, and we'll reveal that in just a moment. We're going to say goodbye to Dom. Dom, enjoy your Saturday.
Lovely. Let's hope Pariah wins for us, and then we'll be looking forward to the treble in the soccer.
Okay, well, Pariah runs in about 20 minutes. We're going to have a quick break, be a very quick pit stop. Record's about to be broken. Dom's going to leave, and Liam Delcon will come and join us after this. So, as you have just seen, World Sports Betting are running a competition where punters stand a chance to win an all-inclusive trip for two to the Champions League final. Everyone wants to be a part of that. Also, consolation prizes of 20,000 Rand and 10,000 Rand in betting vouchers. To enter, visit wsb.co.za, click on the EPL Predictor button, enter your predictions for free. One entry only per person. Gary's got something to add.
I just want to say something now that it's gone to Soweto TV.
Yes.
You know, they may be thinking that it's only the people that used to watch on Teletrack that can enter these competitions, WSB. It's not the case, right? All they got to do, go to wsb.co.za or .com, whatever it is, and for free, they can choose their 6 teams.
And now that the league is balancing out, Terry, there's a bit of better idea going around.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely
Rod's
right.
already, never mind penciled in, big permanent marker. He's just gone next to number 1, Manchester United.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously they're going well. They'll have a better test today, I think, against Leicester. We saw them against Arsenal when they scored 3 against Arsenal at the Emirates, and I think there'll be a bigger test. I don't think they've played anybody of any quantity at the moment to Manchester United, but all you can do is win, which they've done very comfortably. Yeah, I look at it pretty well after this week, and then in the early week of September, I think gives you a better idea where they're going to be. I think there'll be a number of relegation battles this season as well.
bad
I
teams in
really
the
do.
Premier
Some
League.
poor teams, as I've told you already. I thought the Newcastle, Huddersfield, they look championship, no doubt about that. And I was and Brighton as well. They've just not looked up, up to the task of the Premiership. So those 3, but there are others as well. A lot of people now are giving West Ham to struggle and go down, and they're struggling today again. The boy Reid at the back, who they really rely on, he got injured in the warm-up. Can you believe it? Southampton.
stretchered off.
Thank goodness, because we won 4-3, 3-2 rather. And and whether the big boys back today, they're at Newcastle today. I'm almost tempted to go for West Ham, Newcastle, that bid, but then I saw Newcastle play against Tottenham, and though Tottenham beat them, they did put up a bit of a scrap. But
Are you going to talk about soccer anymore?
yeah, I'll let you carry on.
Can I ask one question? I've done research. I wanted to try and trip you up. Okay.
on then.
When was the last side who, in the first 3 Premier games of a season
win?
scored more than 10 or more goals?
I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you something to think about, right? Because, you talk about Newcastle, Huddersfield, right? But it's not only them. What about all the teams that have come up over the past 10 seasons, right? Very few survive, right? Very few survive. So it's not just a money thing. How do they get it that these championship sides are competitive when they come into the big league?
Yeah, well, the thing, obviously the money that they get, they have to make a decision, Gary. They get 100 million, and they're going to get 100 million. So you have to decide, are you going to spend that money beforehand to try and stay in, or are you going to try and stay by a little bit of buying here and there? If you look at the Brightons of that, they're buying 5 million player, 10 million players, which sounds a lot, but nowadays that's like buying 100,000.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, the escalation in prices. A 5 million player, 5 years ago now is 20 million. So that's how it's gone. So they're not necessarily getting the quality. But so you've got to make a decision. Are we gonna go and spend that money, which a lot are, and they're using that money now, rather than sit tight and say, well, look, we'll do this and
what
do
did
that.
Southampton do? Because they're one of the teams that have survived.
Yeah, well, we've been lucky we have an academy. If you have a look at the number of academy players that's come through, plus the fact, of course, to survive, we've sold big, haven't we, as well? So financially, and as you know, we've just sold 80% now, and we've got a partnership with a Chinese. We just sold out for 210 million
With
for
the
80%
Chinese?
to a Chinese.
Or
Yeah.
shop? Chinese shop? Or?
So a family from China. So
Okay.
I understand actually the chairman phoned me last week and put me in the picture of what's going on. I think they're going to appear in the first game against Man United, the Chinese family. So, but that's the deal. You either spend now to make sure you get in and hope that it works for you, or you sit tight and hope that you battle on. And even if you go down, you get 90 million.
Yeah.
So you get a chance to come. They think that's a little bit unfair. You go down with 90 million. What about all the other clubs in the Championship? It gives them a massive advantage. But of course, wages go up, and they have to try and pay those wages. Did you see he's turned down 180?
Would you like to read any more about the rules and regulations of the Premier League?
180,000 he's turned down, Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yes.
Turned it down yesterday. Remarkable.
In case you haven't noticed, Liam's here.
Hello, Alistair.
Well done last week. That was astonishing. In fact, we're actually going to remind punters what you came up with last week.
Before we do, I was going to say that Huddersfield, if they were to win this weekend, it'll be the best start from a team joining the top flight
Ever.
since 86, when
Hull had
Wimbledon
a
won
good-
3 out of their first 4, and they went to the top of the
Yeah,
league.
Hull had a
Really
good
pleasing.
start last year,
Yes.
didn't they go unbeaten in the first 3? They won 2 and drew 1? Something like that.
Yeah, massive.
And look where they ended up.
And they still ended up relegated.
Well, let's have a look at Liam's bets from last week, because this was a miraculous effort. They went with New Zealand to beat the spread of minus 16.5. They won
Squeaked in the end.
Yeah, well, you know what? You got through. Liverpool to beat Crystal Palace. You huffed and puffed, eventually blew the house down. But as for that double, Gregor Dimitrov to win the Cincinnati Masters and Sadio Mane to...
And I made that call before the semi-finals.
Yes, but what I'm disappointed about is that you didn't get the minutes that Sadio Mane...
He did. He ran out of space there.
Oh, I see. Was that...
Yeah.
You scroll down, you'd see it.
I said deep into the, or sort of mid-70s, I think, something.
Did
like
you do that? Well done, though. That's a hell of a call. But
Is that all to come, that all win?
No,
yes, that all around.
That tennis player, did he win?
Yeah, he won.
Oh, brilliant.
And it was fairly one-sided in the end as well, because he was playing
Well,
your,
a win's a win.
your guy, Kyrgios.
He's the mad one, isn't he?
Yeah,
Who had a good win
Australian.
early in the tournament, but of course he blows hot and cold all the time. And of course, by the time he got to the final, he was fairly flat.
During the week, I caught up in Cape Town with Marsh Sutcliffe, and he's the, Marsh.
Yeah, Marsh.
Right.
Yes.
What did I say?
Marsh Griffiths.
It's early in the morning. And Bryn
Yes.
Russell, isn't it? How do you say-
Russell is
Russell.
an E, yes.
Okay. And they were teasing me the whole night. And I'm starting to believe it now. They kept doing that to me all night. And I said, what's that? And they said, no, you're a nice spinner. I said, eventually you start to believe it. Everyone tells you you're a slow bowler. So now I feel like what was the guy's name? Curry. Alan Curry. And then the bloke in Zimbabwe was?
Richie Kashula.
Yeah, Richie Kashula. Yeah. So maybe I'm the same size as them. They think I was a spin bowler. Richie Kashula.
Yeah, good player, eh?
Not really.
Hey,
He
he's
was
a big
good for
man.
2 overs. That was his stint, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give him 2 overs with a wind behind him and then send him down to
He's the
final
only
leg.
man who's
I've
made
got a
me pass out from squeezing me.
I've got a feeling he might be watching the show.
Who? Richie?
Kashuda,
Yeah, he's a big man, eh?
Yeah.
He's the only guy who put me in a bear hug upstairs in my blazer, and then I was on the ground sort of gasping for air. You know, he's a big bloke, strong man.
Your shirt was the bear hug.
It was late into the night, I'll say that.
All right, let's start off with a bit of soccer. Let's get through the Premier League this weekend. There's some huge matches. We'll start off with the early game on Saturday, Terry. Bournemouth at home against Man City. Bournemouth very slow out the blocks.
Yeah, very slow at the blocks playing. You know, I'm a bit disappointed with them. I thought they'd start a little bit better. You can't look anywhere by Manchester City, can you? What they've got going forward, goodness gracious. They should have too much, but it'd be a good game though. Bournemouth like to play their football. They like to get on the front foot. And that could be a high-scoring game.
Right, Crystal Palace Swansea. We've already got Dom Zaki's
I mean,
opinion.
that's interesting. I mean, it's a good stat.
Yes.
You
said you don't believe in stats.
Well, I mean, that's yesteryear. I go on what I've seen, and you have to start making your mind up about teams. Swansea are one of the poorest teams I've seen. Crystal Palace haven't been great, but they did win during the week in the Cup. That might give them a bit of a boost. Zaha's still injured for them, so that might make a bit of a difference. But if I was going to have a bet, which I won't because the draw looks on the cards there, I'll probably just go for Crystal Palace.
Gary, would you put anyone off Dom's, what was that, a quaddie?
I don't like Swansea. I'll be honest with you. I just think Swansea showed me nothing.
Yeah.
Swansea, another side, they're going to be involved in relegation.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about it. But so Bournemouth, the way they've started, they're also going to have to do something, you know.
Yeah.
But Swansea, to me, have got nothing. Like you said, they had one player. That's all they've had in the last 70 years.
Yeah.
They've sold him. They're not going to replace him. I'll be honest with you.
Swansea aren't even 70 years old.
I know. They've got a few drunk Welshmen that play for them.
What
They
you've got to
useless. They're
remember,
going
a
down.
lot of these teams, they've got new managers, and it takes a while to bed in and to get them to play the way they want them. I mean, this game has got to be instant. You've got to be successful, you know, out of the blocks. But football's not like that. It takes a little bit of time to settle in. You know?
Adding to what Gary said about Swansea, the only thing you can actually add to that is that reference from the League of Gentlemen, where the wife of the shopkeeper keeps saying, like, you didn't say that there was a Swansea. She confirmed. It had to be confirmed to her that Swansea actually exists.
Can you believe? Yes.
If there's I mean, Crystal Palace, if they can't beat Swansea,
Yeah.
Yes.
mine, I said that if they couldn't beat Huddersfield and they got beat 3-0. But, you know, they're in trouble, Crystal Palace, they can't beat them.
Jeez, we spent more time on Crystal Palace against Swansea.
Yeah.
Probably the worst game of the weekend than any other.
Have you been to Swansea?
No. Have you?
I have.
And?
Mumbles. Been to Mumbles.
Interesting place.
It
What's
exists,
Mumbles?
though.
Mumbles is
Yeah,
like
I
the
was there, so
seaside
it must
place
exist.
of Swansea. It's called Mumbles, yeah. We used to stay there when we played Swansea.
Speaking of the seaside, Brighton. They
Yeah,
travelled to
Brighton by the
Watford.
sea.
Watford have had a hot start.
Yeah, they're looking under the new manager again, but they've started okay. Brighton, you know, from what I've seen, again, they've been in the marketplace this week, I believe. Whether that's going to be enough to turn them around. The way it's gone, you got to go for Watford again. I mean, I can't have Brighton at the
I like
moment.
Watford as well.
Yeah.
They've looked decent at home.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
this
have.
is-
Yeah, they
Rod,
look
did
okay.
you know that no team has covered more mileage in the Premier League in 2 games than Brighton?
What do you mean, driving around their bus?
Yeah.
What?
Parking their bus.
Their players have run a combined 221 kilometres so far this season.
And they've lost both
Really?
games.
They've lost both games.
That's all. That's not a lot, really.
11 players, 221 kilometres.
21 Ks, 10 K. I do that walking through the airport.
But who does that sort of stat? Why would people do that
They
stat?
do that. Well, they give you they give the breakdown straight during the game and after
really?
the game.
They have, like, little
You
monitors
look at a
on.
midfield player who's really mobile. He's looking about 10, 11 Ks, something like that during the game.
Really?
Interesting stat. I mean, Terry might be able to confirm this, Rod. Did you know that there's a beach in Brighton called Shingle Beach?
Did you know? And there's a nudist beach
How do you know that?
because it's the first one ever in England.
Did you pop in?
Oh, it's only just down the road, I tell you that.
Did you?
And a white
Did you
butcher's
go
hut.
for a look? Be honest.
Of course I went for a butcher's.
Binoculars?
absolutely. Yeah. Didn't need binoculars, mate.
Oh, really?
It might even have been that beach. I have a former colleague in Australia who used to work for The Sun, and he was dispatched one day from London to go to that beach. It might have been the same one.
The nudist beach or the Shingle Beach?
The Shingle Beach.
Okay.
Because there
he
was a
Australian
tipper
as
from
well?
some pastor that Hitler's bones had washed up on the beach, and he was sent with a photographer to go check it out.
Please tell me that was a wind-up.
well, he went, but obviously it wasn't. I mean, there was no way for them
But
to
all
prove it
he
in the
wrote
first
was
place.
apparently it was a skeleton report.
Can I ask one thing about the beach? It doesn't get that hot in England, does it?
Well, it can do.
I'm just saying,
For a day.
there wouldn't be a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
For a day. No, but it's even better when it's cold.
Why?
Oh, boy.
Why? Why would it be better?
Well, just think about
Well,
it.
tell us.
No,
I
no,
don't
I
know.
can't. No. You're just trying to keep abreast of things, I know.
Right, where were we? What's the next
go
game?
wrong.
Terry?
Move on, there we are.
Newcastle,
Well,
West Ham.
you can say whatever you like. I mean, I know West Ham have been bloody awful as well. But they did score 2 goals against Southampton with 10 men, and the boy up front's looking so sharp.
Chicharito.
Yeah, but what do they call him? His nickname, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chico, whatever they call him.
You know what his nickname is? Little,
His nickname's Stutovich.
no, his nickname is actually Little P. You still got that pea soup on your
Remember
shoe.
that?
That's
Yeah.
not
What's the chances of Rafa moving on? Because he's already
Yeah.
committed
I'd
the
say 1
Cardinals
to
and
10
I've
to move on.
criticised
If
If
he's
Mike
there
Ashley.
by January, I'll be very surprised.
He won't be there by January. I've got a funny feeling he could end up at West Ham.
That's exactly
Oh,
it.
really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Exactly it.
But is that? That's interesting. Well, there's a game I'm staying away from because I can't make up my mind. Both are pretty poor at the moment.
No, I think West Ham will be all right. I mean, Carroll thinks they'll finish in the top 6.
Yeah, well, there we are. But I still think if I was going, I'd go for the draw there with West Ham.
Okay. Huddersfield against your mob, Southampton. Can you guys get a goal?
I don't think so. Not the way we're going at the moment. We lost to Wolves during the week.
Yes.
With virtually a strong side. Actually, I phoned on the day of the game, and we just made 4 changes. But apparently, what we did, we tried a new style of play. He wanted to have a look
That
at
worked
a
well.
new way. That worked well. We got beat 2-0. So that's disappointing. Again, I mean, Huddersfield. I mean, that'd be remarkable. I mean, up there at home, they've got a hell of a chance to get the 3 points over there. Let's be fair. Against the Southampton side, are struggling to score goals. So
And go top briefly as well.
yeah, that's right.
I want to ask actually both Liam and Terry something. I'll start off with Liam. Have Liverpool hired the wrong German? Because obviously Wagner and Klopp are best friends. I think they've hired the wrong German. I think Wagner's top class.
You've had something against Klopp from the very start, haven't you?
I think
Even
he's the
his
best.
Dortmund.
I think he's probably the best comedian on earth.
I don't
but
think he's
as-
particularly funny.
As a football coach, I think
He's a bit of a poser when it comes to sort of talking or bringing humour into what he's talking about. It may also just be that he's lost in translation, but he's obviously a decent manager. I mean, he wouldn't have won the titles yet.
Quietly, Liam, very quietly, I've told people I think he's a con man.
not quiet anymore.
I think you've said it not so quietly on that very couch.
Have I?
Yeah.
It's just something about him that, like all managers, they talk good games, this, that and the other, and he hasn't convinced me yet. If he goes on and does it, well done to him. But
Going
doesn't
forward, I
convince
think he does offer you a lot, but as an all-round package, if you look at the way he's bought,
Yeah.
or the things that he hasn't done,
I'll tell you what.
Well,
the-
that's more what he
yeah.
hasn't done and what he has.
I'll tell you what. The 5 of us might as well go into defence for Liverpool because we're as good as what they've got.
Well, we wouldn't
Rod
be
does
far
everything
away,
for
that's for sure. And it proved again during the week. I mean, they've won. I mean, that's a philosophy. I mean, I don't mind that score 4, concede 2. That's
Yeah, of
fine.
course.
Yeah.
But it's come the day where you're going to meet sides that are not going to concede and you're going to struggle, So
Well, they got a great game today, right? Or when's it?
Arsenal,
Tomorrow.
absolutely.
Tomorrow.
Well, we'll get there in a moment. So I actually
Right.
want to bring Rod in here because now we're going to talk about his
Well,
beloved
we're talking
Manchester United.
football. Oh. Go on, Rod.
What does that mean?
I'm just clearing my throat.
Oh,
They are looking really good. And with the signing of the big fella this week,
that makes no difference.
it does.
He's
He
not
won't
gonna
even
play
get-
till March.
He won't even get in the team by time March. But they'll use him in the cups, and he won't get into
In fact,
first.
Santa
Why?
might come before he does.
He-
They
Yeah,
moved
correct.
on from
He
him.
was their leading goal scorer
This
last
team
year.
moved on from him. What is he now? 48.
48.
But they use it. It's
You
a
were
great
singing his
signing.
praises
It's
last
a
year. You
great
were saying he's
signing.
one of the best forwards you've
Yeah,
seen.
but he's had one of the worst injuries at that age. He's going to be slower than you.
Let me tell you
so-
something. Ricky, you know Ricky. Where is Ricky? There he is, right there. He
It is
showed me
Manchester
something
United
during the
jacket.
week. He
Oh
was
no,
doing-
but he won't
Did you
tell
see
him.
the martial? No.
Oh, go
He
on
was
then.
doing martial art kicking into a bag. You can't do that if your knee's
I saw
broken.
that, yeah.
Did you? Were
Very
you
good.
impressed?
Yeah, very good. No, they brought him in. I mean, obviously, with all what they've got during the season, if they get him fit, he'll have a place
Injuries
to
can
play.
happen. Injuries can happen.
Yeah.
To be
That's
honest,
what I'm saying.
Ibrahimovic is going to look like Andrew Fortune did when he led in that winner at Turfentine on Thursday. I mean, Fortune's now
I
got
didn't
one.
see-
He's got
see.
one leg left. I mean, that's what Ibrahimovic is going to look like when he comes onto the field.
Mark Khan had a winner too.
Well done.
That's
sir.
Brilliant
Yeah.
for Mark
Yeah.
Khan.
Oh,
Second
brilliant.
ride
Yeah,
back.
brilliant.
Oh,
Good
really?
ride
Good.
too.
That's called deflecting.
Where was it? What centre?
Yeah, Turfentine.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes.
Good luck.
Yeah, 4 rides on the day, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got a few today as well. Okay, let's move on to the Sunday games. We're on Sunday now, Andre. I think we are. Chelsea against Everton. Gary.
They're not 40-10 shots.
That's for sure.
No,
That's
they're
for
not.
sure.
They can't be.
That 9 to 20
There's
is
trouble
far too
there.
short.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
already read in the paper this week they've marked the next manager.
I have that.
Conte.
Tuchel, the guy from Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, absolutely. They've already marked him down. There's trouble between him and the board about this, that, and the other. I mean, what I don't understand about how can you let somebody go to Man United like Matic, who's been, you know, was great for Chelsea, and
No, it's criminal.
absolutely been brilliant. I mean, if you're a manager, how do you let that happen? That tells me he's not in charge.
Yeah.
You know, and then we've got the Costa thing keep flaring up, and there's all things going wrong again. It's almost like another Mourinho, and I just wonder.
Do you
know,
think he's lost the change room?
well,
He's lost the boardroom by the looks of it.
well, it looks like
Yes.
with the board. I'm not sure about the change room, but he's not my kind of manager. You know, he's not my.
Well, don't you like a celebration?
Well, it's not. I just think he's a very cold manager, and he wouldn't do it for me. But you know, everybody are different. So I just think there's problems there, and Everton have improved.
Everton are reasonable
This is going to be a
side,
good test for
But the fact
Everton.
that they've travelled, they had played Monday night against Man City. Fine,
Yeah.
they were good to get their 1-1 draw.
were.
They went to Croatia.
Yeah, quite
And now
right.
they're playing Stamford Bridge. I mean, that's
it's
a hell
big,
of a run.
It's a big ask, quite right.
It
It's a big
is.
ask, and we'll have to wait and
Big
see.
ask.
And Hazard, I see is having a game for the under-23s, so it looks like, I mean, they've missed him,
Yes.
and he's not playing.
I want to
so-
get into that in just a moment, because we don't actually have much time. We've still got to talk about boxing before we go back to Australia. So let's just get through the last three games. West Brom against Stoke. I'll be tuning in to watch this half an hour before it starts, Terry. I can't wait.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. But West Brom going well at the moment, and Stoke, poor travellers, aren't they? You know,
I think that's another team in trouble. I said that now for 4 months.
Yeah.
I know they beat Arsenal last week, but I
Did
think
you say that last
They'll survive because of what Terry said. The
Because
quality
they're
of the
teams
teams
that are so
below them
bad.
are
Yeah,
so
absolutely
bad, you know.
right. Yeah,
It's
quite
got-
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll get through
But if
the
you're going to
difficult-
have a 14 to 10, West Brom have gone well at the moment, and the type of side they are, you know, I think they probably beat Stoke.
Okay, Gary, you want to talk about Arsenal.
It's
So
going to be
let's
a great
talk about
game.
Arsenal. They're
It's gonna
facing
be a
against
great game, right?
Liam's team.
Why do you
Going to
say
be a
that?
lot because there's going to be a lot of goals.
Well, last year was 4-3 in this
4-3.
fixture.
Yeah, well, I think that was
That's
wasn't
flattered
that
Arsenal,
might
by
have
the
been
way.
at Arsenal.
That was at the Emirates, sorry.
But I think that there are going to be a lot of goals. I think that both sides with their problems, you know. But they're both going to have a go.
The
and
little
everything.
man's back, isn't he, for Arsenal?
Sanchez.
Yeah, almost certain to start, isn't he?
Well, he
Well, the
said he-
last
he
time they
was
went to
decided-
Anfield, Wenger didn't play him. Well, he didn't start.
Yeah.
Well,
Start.
and he may not play him again. You know, he
Yeah.
may not start with him. That's the
I'm going to go.
problem.
I really think there's going to be another 3-2, 3-all. Oh, this is going to be a good
Well, I
game.
think Liverpool are always going to score goals, and I don't trust Arsenal at the back. So I think you're probably right, more than 2.5
Arsenal will
goals.
score there as well. there's no
Remember that
question.
game a few years ago when Arshavin scored 4 goals, 4-3? Remember that?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
more than 2 years ago. wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
I
a
said
while
a few
back.
years ago.
Oh, did you? I think it was
Yes.
2 years.
I think the other
Have you been
key
to the
player,
yoga?
Pardon?
the other key player for Arsenal will be Koscielny is coming back.
Yes,
so
that's right.
obviously
He's coming back. Which,
he's got his
certainly
moments, but
help
he's
her.
sturdier than most.
Yeah, Mustafa, I mean, he's on his way. He's not good enough.
Rubbish.
Cool.
So, right, what we're basically saying is get onto World Sports Betting and have a total goals bet or over 2.5, because that will be plenty goals. And what about this? How badly does Spurs need that win at Wembley? And how lucky are they to have Burnley coming?
They absolutely crucified Chelsea.
How did they lose
There was
that?
only one side on the pitch, and they got beat. I mean, that's the biggest cert today.
Yeah.
Biggest cert
Whatever
They're
today.
playing tomorrow.
Well, today, tomorrow, you know what I mean. Whenever they play. They are absolutely certain he's Tottenham, and that's why they're 2-9, whatever it is. Yep. Absolute certainty. And goals. And goals for me.
All right, we do need to talk about boxing and maybe a little bit about MTN8. Just in the space of a minute, Terry, what's going on in the transfer market? Because all of a sudden the last week it's just gone hush-hush quiet.
Well, I mean, their side, there's a side are going to do some business again. They're doing business now, Spurs. They tell me they're going to get another 3 players on board
Really,
before the
yeah?
end of the season. Yeah, because they're a bit short. There's no doubt about that in terms of squad. And soon they've been drawn in the Champions League.
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, they're going to need them. So I think there'll be business. Coutinho now, and we're talking about
Well, Barcelona have just signed Dembele.
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Next 24 hours, are they going to decide whether he can go or not? Arsenal. If he doesn't go now, then obviously he's got to wait to the next window, and then he can go for free. You know, the following season.
Yeah.
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Okay.
They've offered him 180,000 a
Didn't say
week,
no,
which
eh?
he's turned down. But they're going to make a decision in the next 24 hours.
Turned down.
So there's still a lot of wheeling and dealing to do. I think you, like everybody else, the window should have been closed at the start of the season.
Okay, we're going to quickly go through MTN8 and then we'll do boxing after the race from Australia. So let's chat about the local scene. Of course, it's MTN8 semi-finals, and we start off in Pretoria with SuperSport United against Maritzburg United. Right, who wants to have a go at this?
They're two sides that aren't too bad.
Yes.
Maritzburg's gone particularly well.
You know, exactly.
Maritzburg, though, they've...
But it's so unpredictable.
Sure,
You wouldn't know
ridiculous.
which way to go. I mean,
No.
I think it was, what game was at the end? Was it last week when about the teams on the Saturday, nobody scored
No,
over
we looked
2
like
goals.
4, yeah, no.
If you'd have gone under 2.5.
This could be deadlocked after 90.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good
absolutely,
bet.
Yeah.
But Maritzburg are a decent side, and Supersport United have started off well. They had a good win during the week, Gary. Although you and
10
Mauritius...
men.
Yes,
they
I
beat,
saw that.
They beat
Yeah.
Chiefs.
Yeah, correct.
2-1.
Chiefs are
Oh,
battling.
that's a debacle.
Chiefs are battling for.
Do you
And
think
if the manager didn't, or the coach didn't talk in the way he does, I mean, he's very Peter de Villiers-esque in some of the statements.
What is your guest speaker?
No.
Yeah, he's come under a bit of pressure. I just wonder how long that can last.
I was
you
going to
know?
say, I reckon by the time we come back for this show next week, he might not have a job.
Do you reckon?
It's been 2 seasons since they've won a
Yeah,
trophy, I think.
absolutely,
So
yeah.
it's-
No,
Yeah,
pressure's on.
too right. Yeah.
Something all's not right there, Kaiser Chiefs. Let's get into the second semi-final. This is tomorrow's game. Cape Town City against Wits. Of course, these two teams played already this season,
They
the
did,
opening game of the PSL. And Cape Town City did a good hijacking job. Came to town.
And this
got
is
the
home
goal.
and away. We must remember that.
Correct.
So you've got to remember that things will sort of play it a little bit differently, and obviously Vits want to take something back to when they get to the home game.
How's the big player done? For
Pino.
Pino.
Love
Yeah,
Pino.
Pino, I know.
I think he's only come on as a sub.
If you go for punting wise, right?
Yes.
On a day like this where there are 2 games and you take back in both games individual draws and you take the draw double, I promise you won't show a loss at the end of the season. I promise you'll make a profit.
Just draw,
Don't
draw,
even-
draw.
Draw, and then each individual draw. So you get 11 to 1 the draw double, and 2 to 1, 22 to 10 each individual one. If one arrives, you show a profit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if they both arrive, you're going to retire.
Lovely.
Generally speaking, South African football, the guys are goal shy. So if there aren't a lot of goals, then that's probably the way to go.
All right, we need to take a break because we need to go over to Australia. After this, it'll be time to talk about the money fight, bit of rugby, and maybe we'll sneak some cricket in as well. We're shouting home Pariah in the next race from Australia.
With the run under the belt, certainly won't be far away. And I think Parast is an improver here, number 7, 1, 5, 9 and 7.
Okay, Glenn Munsey, let's have a look at the market for the San Domenico on tab.com.au.
Yeah, Ronnie was talking about Condor Heroes being soft in the market. Well, I don't know whether they're soft in the market, Greg, or it's just the fact that it's pretty relentless, the money for Pariah here. 280 into 235. Pariah, and such is the hold it's got on the market at $6 bar. So, in fact, $6.50 bar now. Pariah, 235 favourite, no doubt will be the market mover here. Second pick is Medina D, who's held its spot there all the way through, is on the second line of betting at $6.50. Condor Heroes and Jordan, numbers 5 and 10, are both easy, but not all that easy that they're completely out the gate, to $7.50. Chauffeur's been very solid. The 4, it's a $10 chance. Speed Street was a firm up this morning, mid-morning, was 13 into 8.50. It's got back to 12. Taking Aim is easy, out to $18. Parast, a $21 chance easy, and another Sin the Roughie at $23. But probably outside of Alwood, most confidently back runner here all day, Greg. Pariah, especially when they walked in the yard.
All right, so Pariah, a good go here for the San Domenico Stakes, and he's going to be one of the last ones to get round there, Duff. And Lizzie, join in here. What are you seeing as they get over behind the gates? We're seeing a pretty relaxed horse.
Lizzie, look at him there. He's so well balanced and he's laid back. You wouldn't want to see a horse anything else bar that. Perfect behind the barrier.
Yeah, that's it. You're saying, Ron, that he's just... The thing about him is he's a pure racehorse. He's absolutely professional. He's very fit and forward, ready to go. The money's come for him. Blake's got a bit of confidence about him as well. You can see how he's just walking around to the start, nice and relaxed, and that's how you want to keep these colts, because they are on a little bit of a... First up on a little bit of a piece of string. They can go 2 ways, but he's really going the right way, and if you've got your money on him, I'd be very, very confident.
Yeah, Blake's a decision maker, and he's got a decision to make here from the outside draw. Does he go at the start and try and slot in front of a few? Does he be negative and ride for luck, weaving between them? He's a confidence rider. I'm intrigued what he's going to do here, Greg, in the first 200 or 300 metres.
Gee, Blake's taken his time, hasn't he? All these horses are over there, and they're starting to move in, and Pariah's just arriving at the start, but Blake just took his time. He just walked him round to the gates, and as he gets there, he's going to walk in. Any late moves here, Glenn?
Greg, just having a look now. I'm just having a look at the Golden Rose market. He's a $9 chance in the Golden Rose Pariah, so definitely going to reshape that market here into 215. Hasn't this been a good go? 280 to 215 and roughly 250 to 215 since they came in the yard, which is always very significant. Medinity out to 7, holds second spot. Condor Heroes, Jordan 8 a pair, Chauffeur 10. But it's chips in here, all in, Pariah.
Condor Heroes about to come in, and they're just about set here for the San Domenico Stakes. There's Condor going in, and here's Darren Flindell.
20 minutes, outright favourite around $2.15. Drawn the outside, Pariah. The lights on for the San Domenico. Gates open, they're off and racing. Great line out, and Medinity jump well together with Speed Street and Condor Heroes moving up on the outside. Another Sin goes to fourth, followed by Jordan. Then came Parast from Taking Aim. The favourite Pariah's back second last, and Chauffeur whips them in. They're speeding along. Speed Street on top from Condor Heroes, who pulls its way up into second. Medinity takes the sit in third. Then came another Sin. 3/4 the inside to Jordan. 2 further back to Parast. Now Shin's taking inside runs on the favourite Pariah. Taking Aim and Chauffeur are the last two. On the point of the turn, 500 out at Speed Street and Condor Heroes. Medinity right behind. Then came another Sin. 2 further back to Jordan. And then came further back to Parast. And now Pariah's getting the runs. Here he comes. Pariah moves up with Medinity. They head off Speed Street. Condor Heroes. Jordan can't get a crack at them. But Pariah with a head in front from Medinity, who's brave. Pariah in front from Medinity. Then came Chauffeur. But it's Pariah San Domenico. Pariah goes on to beat Chauffeur in second, Jordan third, Medinity about a half length away in fourth. Further back to Speed Street, then Taking Aim, Condor Heroes, Parast and another Sin was last to finish.
Well, that win was nothing to be sneezed at. Well done to Dom. Now you got some money for the rest of the weekend, and we can play all these best bets that we've got for you. Right, Tekkie Town's weekly competition last week was won by Peter Dembitzer. A 1,000 Rand weekly Tekkie Town competition was won by Peter. Well done for getting Sir Gary Sobers and not Sir Gary Lenton. Do you know him, Rod? Pointing at the TV like you...
Does that name ring a bell, the winner?
No.
To any of you?
Sir Gary Sobers.
No, the winner. Anyway, doesn't it?
Oh, okay. Right. Which world heavyweight boxing champion retired with a record of 49-0? This has me stumped. Was it A. Kali Knutzer, B. Rocky Marciano, or C. Rocky Balboa? Phew. Okay, right, let's give you the rules and conditions and everything else. Please answer with your name and surname. Competition closes on Monday at 6 o'clock. SMS your answer to 44472. Terms and conditions apply. SMS costs 50 cents per entry. Standard rates apply. No free SMSs, so you've got basically more than 48 hours to go into Google, and Google does not lie. So there should be plenty of entries into that. Right, let's just take you through some best bets before we get into boxing and maybe a little bit of rugby as well. This is what I think. I've got 2 pages of best bets for a change. Man City to beat Bournemouth, Watford to beat Brighton, Man United to beat Leicester, and Spurs to beat Burnley. And I'm going with South Africa to sneak a win in the rugby tonight. And then as for the money fights, I actually think Mayweather's going to win. That's what my head says. My heart says McGregor, because we all love an underdog.
So how would you have a bet there? I mean, that's your best bet, right? How would you structure that bet?
I'm going to go with your head or your heart.
I'm going to use my head to structure that bet. Right. Okay. Hint, hint. Okay, on to Gary Lenton. Gary?
I've gone for City, Spurs and Watford.
So you don't like United?
No, I do like United, but I don't want to push my luck a little bit. I've gone Mayweather to win by TKO, KO or disqualification. That's 13 to 20, 15 to 20. I think there's value there. I'm not allowed to tip rugby. I'm serving as.
Who gave you a week suspension, yourself or someone watching?
It was 5 weeks. But I managed to get it down to 1 week only.
On appeal?
On appeal, yeah. It's been absolutely pathetic.
Yeah, that's
and
good bet then.
My Hail Mary, I think 6-1 West Brom to win 1-0 again.
Cool, very good.
They've got a chance, you know.
Absolutely.
I think there's value there at 6-1.
Absolutely.
Rod, what a surprise.
What? I was impressed with Australia, not in the first half, 46. Yeah. And by the way, don't go. I think I told you last week, did I? I hadn't spoken to you guys since I went to Hearties. Don't go. Very expensive. The most expensive town I've ever been to. I thought it'd be a $3,000 trip. It was 11.
Well, that's because you took your wife.
Morning,
Donna.
She bought 2 Nguni skins. Do you know what an Nguni is? Hard to beast.
Hard to beast done?
Yeah. 2 skins. You know what a Nguni is?
Yeah, I
What
do.
is it? Go on, what is it?
He used that spinner.
No, it's not. It's cow skin. Cow skin.
Rod's going with
Right,
England to win
there
the
we go.
second test. They 1-10, and
Yeah.
Australia to win the series.
Haven't won a series in since 2011 in the subcontinent. So there they go. If they lose one test, they go from 4th to 5th in the world rankings.
But there's only 2
Yeah.
tests, and you think they might lose the first test.
Yeah, well, anyway, I'll take a chance. All right.
Terry,
Yeah, Man United have beat Leicester.
you sound very enthusiastic.
More
by
than
that.
two. Well, I'm just a little bit worried. More than 2.5 goals.
Uh-huh.
I think it'd be more than 7-10. But anyhow, and Tottenham to beat Burnley is throw it together.
Right, now we're saving the best for last because Liam's in fantastic form. He
He
won
is.
millions of world sports betting last week. Right, what have you done this week?
Well, I'm going to go with Rod. I think Australia will defend a lot better than last week. I doubt.
I'd like to say great minds think alike, but no.
Well, you spare yourself that one. And I know it's conditions will be fine. They'll be under a roof, and it's conducive to running rugby. But I think the Australians will defend a lot better. So that's why I'm going to go with 27.5. South Africa, Argentina. There, I'm with you on this one because I think they will struggle, but they will win.
Right.
Less than 7.5, so at 7.5, what would you do?
Any
level.
So
win.
you think just out?
Any
right,
win.
okay.
I think Spurs will fill their boots at Wembley for once, and then Maria Sharapova. In fact, I might even adjust that to say that she won't make the second round, but let's stick with
So
her.
you're going to, if you'd back whoever opponent is in the first round.
She's playing Simona Halep.
Oh, I'd
The
back
first
some.
round?
Yes.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
You sneaky. Well played. All right, let's quickly talk about the boxing because obviously everyone has got an opinion. People on Facebook are backing Conor. People on Facebook are backing Floyd Mayweather. Everyone's a boxing expert, including Rod McCurdy. Every break that we take, he's landing the left and landing the right. So what's your opinion? Because now you've become the biggest boxing expert of all time.
No, I'm not a boxing expert. I enjoy the sport. I love it. I watch all the big fights. I really enjoy
and
it.
you've competed in a few in your time.
Haven't won too many. But anyway, I just think a proper, probably the weight for, or pound for pound, is probably the greatest fighter undefeated ever in the history. Okay, my opinion. Now he's going to take on a guy who couldn't qualify to be a boxer.
Professional.
Yeah, professional boxer.
Would you
So
like to
how
talk
come
Conor
now a
McGregor
guy
after
who
this,
couldn't even have a professional fight in boxing, how can he beat the world's all-time champion? I'll leave it there.
Fair enough. Are you dyslexic?
Wow.
Because you went Rod throwing left and right with your wrong hand. I mean,
That's not dyslexia.
I know. Well, it's
It's something.
uncoordinated something. You know.
That's
what I'm
more like it, yes.
saying? You know. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
What do you think? Okay, well, you've already exposed your hand with what you think
I
is going
just
to
think
happen.
that this guy going to battle to hit Mayweather. Mayweather will pick him off. You know what I'm saying? He's been beaten McGregor as well. Don't let anybody fool yourself with his big mouth. He's been beaten in the octagon a few times before. You know,
An octagon or octagon?
whatever it is, that
That's
eight-shaped
it,
corners.
cage.
You know.
No, that's
You
one
know?
that Terry goes to with the air things. That's the
That's oxygen.
oxygen.
Yeah,
It's oxygen
exactly.
10.
Octagon, yeah, sorry, octagon. And I just think that he'll get hit too often.
Yes.
And he'll get beaten and frustrated. And when he does get hit, he'll make silly mistakes. And I think Mayweather knock him out in the third
I think
round.
it's the biggest farce. I think it's an absolute
It is.
disgrace.
Yes.
I
Gimmick.
really do. Does nothing for boxing in my point of
No.
view. You know,
Well-
Bertram Mills is in town. That's another circus. I'm thinking about going there.
What's Bertram Mills?
One of our papers
I don't
called
know.
a couple of South African
Mills circus.
boxing experts, and some of them were scathing about this. I think guy like Rodney Berman said that he can't believe that this thing was sanctioned. That it was
Absolutely
Well, listen, the
right.
bottom line is in a few weeks' time, Gary, there's the Golovkin-Alvarez fight, which is going to be 1,000 times
So
better.
better than that.
This has just got all the hype because it's two guys that like their money.
No, well, I mean, that's all it is. It's a marketing thing. And it's been a
Absolutely.
huge success because
Yes.
whether we think it's a farce or not,
Yes.
People are queuing up.
tens of millions of people
I'm
are
going
pay
to
big money.
I'm going to watch.
I'm going to watch. I just don't know what time it comes on. I know they go over at 3.
Yes.
But what
I'm not
time will
watching the
main fight
undercard.
be on?
I'm going to
Are you going to just get...
No, I'm going to town tonight.
Are you going to have a full go?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll look,
Are you gonna
you'll look
just watch
worse
the
than
box?
McGregor tomorrow.
Yeah, correct.
So you're going
That's
to
a-
arrive here because we've got a teletrack boxing event here.
Don't tell everyone. You're inviting everybody.
No, we've shut the gates. It's sold out. We've got eight people.
Will my remote get me in?
Yeah, no, you'll be right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You actually look like Floyd.
in what way?
Well, the bald head, everything else. You got
I
the
just stay
build.
off with Marvin Hagler once. I interviewed him.
Oh, did
And
you?
he
Did
looked
you?
at me like I said, no, you're not looking into a mirror. Because he wanted to know whether we had met. I said, no, I would remember.
There are plenty markets on world sports betting, so just take note of all these. There have been a few that have been scrolling at the bottom. To score a knockdown, Gary? Yes, no, maybe
I
so?
would think so. Yes, these guys can't go 12 rounds. You know what I mean? Bear in mind that
If it goes 12 rounds, I don't know if McGregor's going to be alive on
cannot
Monday
go 12
morning.
rounds. You know what I mean? And I just think one thing I discussed earlier during the one break was that why did Mayweather go for lighter gloves? You would expect him to have heavier gloves and just go for a
Well,
point.
Rod's got an opinion with lighter gloves.
Well, it's not an opinion. It's lighter gloves. And let me ask our resident expert sitting behind the camera, Ricky, you can get cut with lighter gloves, correct? He's nodding away. So he's the expert. He follows it all.
wasn't
And
nodding.
cage fighting, he knows everything. Lighter gloves cut. The bigger the glove, like in sparring, then you risk. Yeah.
Like if you've got a cushion, you're not going to hurt the guys much. I think Mayweather wants to knock him out early.
I don't know. I think if Rod took one of these and started bashing me over the head after a while, I might have a few problems.
I think Mayweather will hit him too many times and he'll knock him out.
Okay, so anyone here like
Well, what does
McGregor?
Ricky say? Our expert, Mayweather or other way? Mayweather. There you go. And he knows everything.
No, he does know stuff. Anyone like McGregor on this panel?
As a town in the Cape, yes, but as a boxer, no.
I think that pretty much answers it. Right, let's get into the Rugby Championship and quickly chat about that. Let's start off with the early game because we all expect New Zealand to win, so we'll spend about 30 seconds on this. Liam, I know that you said Australia will beat the spread of 27.5. You expect them to be a bit more improved. But was that a fact of New Zealand just completely taking their foot off the pedal in the last 20 minutes last week that flattered Australia a bit?
Not so much foot off the pedal, maybe a little bit, but it's also a case of maybe getting overconfident and think things will just automatically happen, which it didn't. Australia, remember, we said before on the show last week that they had the better bench. They believe that they had the better bench, and if they were in the contest after 60 minutes, that they may have a chance. Of course, 60 minutes arrived and they were well off the pace.
46 at half time.
And to be fair to them, their bench actually did make a difference. So kudos to them. The game may not go along a similar path this week, but I think overall they'll be better for it.
Kuranjani, he's starting this week. Where he come
It's
off
a
the
better
bench
Aussie
last
team,
week.
I think, yeah. He will bring a bit of solidity in the midfield. Karevi really didn't do the job defensively last week. Rob Simmons up at lock, that'll make a big difference as well. So I think overall, I mean, the package that they're putting together for this game, I think is
Big
a
spread,
bit more.
Gary, 27.5.
It's a rugby, I'm not allowed to talk.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, well, we've got 3 minutes to talk.
Sorry, they're playing at the Highlanders' home ground, so you don't have an opinion on that either.
I'm not allowed to talk about rugby.
Okay.
Suspended.
Okay. Gary, what do you think about our big game and Salter?
They're useless, the Springboks. Not allowed to talk about rugby.
Okay. We're not going to get anything else out of you, are we?
Not allowed to. They're not going to get another week. I got 4 weeks suspended.
How does that work?
If he talks about rugby, they
The
come
other
in,
4
they're
weeks kicks
enforced.
in, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
All
saying?
right. Okay, I see. All right, Liam, share your opinion about Argentina and South Africa. I know we spoke about it during the week, the fact that Argentina or South Africa are making a big song and dance about PE, Joburg, Sao Paulo, Buenos Aires.
I just want to say one thing, because this is travelling. No. Who played in South Africa in PE last week?
That's the point I was going to make.
Exactly.
Both. It's not like
Same.
Argentina got on a plane from PE to Salter and it took them 3 hours.
No. Exactly. Yeah. Look, I mean, it's a bit of a laborious journey, but I mean, both teams have to do it. And if there's any advantage to be derived from it, I think Argentina are probably a little bit more used to to long haul travel than the Springboks. But overall, you shouldn't really look at that as a factor.
Alistair never won an away game under his tenure.
Oh.
No, not you haven't won. Listen, my son.
So what are you saying? Are they going to lose this one?
Cricket with you, and
let me ask you a question. Maybe you know him. I just read something that they were going to leave on Wednesday.
Are they going to make it in
They
time?
left on Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who does their travel arrangements?
They left PE on Tuesday.
In a last-minute decision.
No, I don't
Yes, that's what I read last night.
Yes.
No, those things aren't last-minute decisions.
They were going to leave on Wednesday, and then they woke up on Tuesday morning and decided to go a day early. I swear.
Do you think Alistair
Does
will
that have
have
anything
his
to do with
first win?
PE?
I don't know what that
Alistair hasn't been able to win away from home since he started.
What are you saying? Are you saying that's why they will lose this time?
No, I'm asking your opinion on it.
I think they will get that monkey off their backs eventually, and this might well be the weekend for them to do it. I think they'll struggle.
If
but
they
I think they'll
lose
get the
that
job done.
game,
Yeah.
would you put them in the same categories as Australia, inability-wise?
Can we not
That's
wait
a-
a
that's a-
couple
that's
of
a
weeks
tough
until
one.
they play?
I think they have to win before they can get to the same category as Australia. They're useless.
Okay. All right, so you think South Africa are going to win, Liam?
Yeah, not by much, but I think they will eventually get the job done.
Gary's not allowed to give an opinion. Rod?
I didn't bet on this game. I didn't like it.
Okay. Terry?
South Africa will win comfortably.
What's comfortably how many points? It's not like 2.5.
10, 15, something like that.
10, 15.
What was the spread, Gary?
Look, based on last week, that's not the worst thing. I mean, based on last week, they were well beaten Saturday.
Argentina.
Glad you
They
watched.
play the game.
Okay, well, that's what we think about rugby. There's also Curry Cup action on the go. We are going to take a quick break. We're going to say goodbye to our friends on Soweto TV. Thanks very much for watching. After this on Teletrack, we'll continue our chat about sport. We have a little bit of cricket, but to all our Soweto TV viewers, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next week. Right.
Which is fast. How can you compare her to this time into other preparations?
Oh, look, you know, you probably can't. She's in good order. That's the main thing. She's nice and sound, and you know, her track work's been good, and her jump outs have been, you know, as always. So, you know, she's in good order, but definitely improve out of the run. You can probably see her in the yard. She's still quite woolly, and she's got to drop her coat yet, and probably tighten up. She's still on touch on the tubby side.
We know that she did have a couple of quirks, including poor barrier manners, but do you feel like she's grown out of that now? She's a mature mare.
Oh, look, I don't want to jinx myself, but you know, she's been behaving extremely well. We brought her here Tuesday morning just so she's not on edge and not as fresh going to her first up run. So, you know, she'll be in there for a while, but we're confident she can, you know, jump really well. That's probably the key today. She needs to jump well because there's a lot of speed from her outside.
So you are hoping to take advantage of the perfect barrier?
Yeah, look, she's a natural running filly, or mare, I should say. You don't want to sort of hold her up too much. And look, if she begins well, roll forward, and look, if they go stupid, he'll just grab hold. So that's why you employ blokes like Damien to ride your horses.
And if she runs to expectations and all being well, is your plan to go third up in the Moir Stakes?
Yeah, that's been our target. You know, try and get that Group 1 for her. That you know, she's been placed a few times. So look, it all goes to plan. We'll hopefully get to the Moir and then go from there.
Good luck, Simon.
Thank you.
Runners at the start. I'm right whenever you need me to, Pete. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'm all good and everything.
Great, plenty of speed up front here, but O'Malley can run some good sectionals, but he can really let down.
Yeah, it's one thing he can do, mate. He's going to be second half of the field for sure. Probably nearly be close to the last, but hopefully the fireworks are on up front and he'll get his chance to round them up.
Is it just a matter of being patient, letting it unfold and letting him do what he does best?
Yeah, that's it. He's got to ride him to make his best work his last furlong, and would have liked a little bit more sting out of the ground, but there's a bit of give in it, which is going to suit him, and hopefully the speed's there and he can round them up.
Oh, good luck.
Thanks, mate.
Looks a terrific race. Terry Bailey, Heatherly, drawn nice, D Lane, nice and fresh. It's a great recipe.
Yeah, she's the best back runner, Dean. All the money for her late in the betting. Eldovino's had some speaking, but she's clearly the money horse. She can be a bit of a risk in the gate. She's drawn inside and there's a fair deal of speed outside of her. She looks pretty much as I've seen her most of her career. I remember her winning a maiden here when she was a big spruik horse after some huge jump outs. She's got great speed. Looks like she's been trained for a first up kill today. I think Miss Rock's got a very good chance in the race. She'll be the sleeper late, coming quickly when Heatherly gets a little bit tired. She won this race last year, sat outside a very moderate clip. So moving in well, the favourite moves up for the SAJ Fruit Supplies Carline Stakes. They're moving in. Here's Jungle Edge being led up. He's proven to be a real war horse. He's got pretty good stats at 1,000 metres. Lady Esprit, who ran fast sectionals here in a workout on Tuesday, 16 into 12, about to move in. Arohu being led up. Final look at the board. The favourite for the race is Heatherly, $2.10. She's $2.15 on the VOP and is a raging hot favourite. Now Prussian Vixen about to lead in. Lady Esprit to come up. Miss Rock to move in. Robbie Lang saying she might be a little underdone for this. She worked well here with Frankel My Dear on Tuesday morning under a grip. Sunday Escape back in the winners list about to move in, and Winks' little half-brother Il Divino to come up and take up his position. First run for Darren Weir. Sunday Escape about to load in. Lady Esprit moves up. She has had good support late, Lady Esprit, into $12 from 16. Heatherly stands up well at this stage. She can get a little bit keyed up in the gate. She sat outside the leader to win this race last year. She's had a bleeding attack 2 preps back, a Caulfield winner last preparation. Set. Heatherly moving. She's playing up in the gate. Settles. Not quite ready yet. Heatherly moving about. Sunday Escape moves in. Feels set now. Heatherly playing up. Lane's half out of the saddle here. He's got his left arm up against the gate.
Just waiting on you, just give me a yell, mate.
Just waiting for a yell for the all clear for the starter to hit the button. She's going to have to come out, Heatherly. She's putting on a show. She's going to have to come out of the gate. So, yes, she's got her head caught up, Heatherly. She's up to her old tricks. She really gets keyed up when she gets down to the barrier, particularly here at Moonee Valley for some reason. I heard the attendant saying they need to pull her out. Her head got caught up. She's coming out, Heatherly, out of the gate. She'll be vetted, so big news. They'll have to check her. This will put the market on its ear. If she happens to come out, she's been withdrawn from the barrier. They're trying to get her out at the moment, Heatherly. The attendants around front in case she bursts through the stall. They're just holding it tight. She's caught up. Damien Lane just moving away. He's had a win today on Pakadali. That barrier rug on. So we're standing by for word with Heatherly. Must be heartbreaking for Connections. They've got a prime for a first up run here today, and she's put on a bit of an act in the gate. Now it's up to the vet to decide whether she's going to run. She's just walking around. Lane back in the saddle. Just waiting for word. She's been past fit to run. Heatherly past fit. $2.20 tape favourite. It's all happening. Heatherly back in. Starter will waste no time. Ready. Stand as one. Racing. Heatherly broke second or third last. Sunday Escape out fast, going quickly. Jungle Legend showing speed. Prussian Vixen. Aruhu and Heatherly driving up on the fence. Il Divino just off those from Miss Rock. General Truce, Lady Esprit, 2 lengths away in the field is No More Daisy. They were followed well back in the run. Keen Array. O'Malley is last of all. Heatherly went flying up on the rail. Through the gap and she leads the way at the 600. A length and a half in front of Aruhu. Miss Rock railed up to be third from Jungle Ledge. Then Sunday Escape. Il Divino under pressure. Lady Esprit as Heatherly moved clear on the corner. Keen Array pulled out on the bend. Heatherly the front runner. Miss Rock a length and a half away, getting off her back to get pursuit. Lady Esprit making ground. Heatherly turns for home. He's up and now and she bursts clear. 2 lengths in front of Miss Rock. Lady Esprit. Keen Array. Heatherly in full cry at the 100. Miss Rock is trying hard. Heatherly's holding on. Miss Rock's coming now. Miss Rock lunging. Gets up. Miss Rock has won it from Heatherly. Lady Esprit third, then either Keen Array or Il Divino from Jungle Edge. They were
So we're back and we got a little less than 10 minutes of show left, so we're going to bring Rod McCurdy in. There was one reason why we brought him in, that was to talk about cricket, not that he knows a hell of a lot about it.
Fair comment.
So, Second test out at Headingley.
Well, Headingley for me has always been a wicket the bowlers like to play on. There's always a little bit in there. But to be fair to the West Indies, they bowled a hell of a lot better than they did in the first test. They really did. I mean, how many catches
Can I
they
just
dropped?
say their fielding is
it's horrendous. Terry, your favourite word? Use that word? You say it better than I do.
Horrendous.
Horrendous. That's what I learned.
I promise you, England shouldn't have got 150.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stokes got away with murder. He scored almost half the runs.
Well, he dropped twice, and on 98, and they dropped Root. Gee, when he was at, what, under 10, wasn't it? 8. There you go.
Shannon Gabriel looked like he was going to commit homicide at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just like staring at those folks who were putting down
Wouldn't it
catches.
nice him-
But he was guilty himself as well.
Bowled over 90 miles an hour at times.
He's a big, strong bloke, isn't he?
Strong guy.
Big, strong bloke, yeah. How do I see the test panning out? Well, you know, you can never judge both sides until both had a bat on a wicket, you know. I don't know what the weather's like, Terry, but I've always thought that Leeds wicket always gives the bowlers a bit of a chance.
Yeah, I mean...
But that betting's wrong, Rod.
All that proves is that bookmakers are no idiots, because England are still going to win, no matter what the score is.
That betting is wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just looked at it.
5 to
I
10 or
thought,
something.
if England moved the ball as much as Australia did, then Australia would have no chance because they
West Indies?
West Indies
They
have
only
no
start on
chance.
Sunday.
I know, haven't got no chance. If England bowled as well as they did and moved the ball like they did, I
Anderson
thought
was
they wouldn't get
unplayable last
150.
Yeah, he moved it too much, actually.
The difference in those two sides again was shown up there. England in trouble. They've got a great 6, 7 and 8 coming in. It's
England
unbelievable.
going to Australia have got absolutely no chance.
Damn it, I wanted to get in first. I knew that was coming.
No chance.
Australia, get on now.
Exactly what you've just said.
Get on now. Australia cannot lose the Ashes.
3 players you just talked about. You take Cook,
Roots and Stokes.
No, well, I was talking about
Stokes.
6, 7 and
They're
8.
not all.
Ali.
They're not all going to come good.
Yes.
In 5 tests.
Yeah, it is actually always 5.
They're not all going to come good in that, and the rest aren't good enough. Simple
But
as that.
Australia got that so brilliant?
Well, exactly.
They got Warner, Smith and Stark.
I had a look at their squad that's playing on Sunday.
Oh, here goes
Well, let's
through
quickly
them.
talk about that because we only got about 2 minutes left of show.
We had 10 minutes. 2
They
minutes
haven't
ago.
won the subcontinent since 2011. We mentioned earlier. And I had a look at that side for Australia, and they're strict. What?
Betting.
Pointing at the betting, and you.
I can't see anyway. So what is it?
13 to 20 Australia, Bangladesh 5 to 1.
Bangladesh got to be worth 100 rand, Gary?
Yeah,
At home, you know?
Definitely.
yeah.
But then if you say that, then so the West Indies. Yes, they're going to get beaten. But 8 to 1, the West Indies is the wrong price. There can be one partnership where they put on 110. There's betting in running. Let's bear that in mind, right? There's betting in running with WSB throughout the test match. Let's say these two that are there, they did tough it out yesterday.
They did.
Let's say it's a little bit easier and they get to 70 for 1.
Then get on England.
Wokes
but
back
you've
in
got
is a
the
big
81
plus for England. Hey, Wokes is a good player.
Yes.
I mean,
Aston Villa supporter.
We won't hold that against them.
No, exactly.
Okay,
Anyway,
cool.
let's move on to Australia. Can they win it? Well, I've gone for them to win the series in a 2-match series.
Yes.
They've got to. If they don't win this, I tell you what, Gary, going back to the Ashes, I don't reckon they're that great at the moment.
neither
You
am
don't
I.
get ranked 4th in the world.
They're good things
If they
at home.
lose one test, they go to number 5, ranked in the world, and there's only 6.
Cook.
Well, you take seriously.
Good cricketer.
Okay, you got 10 seconds, yes?
Cook, Root, Bairstow,
Stokes.
Ali, Stokes. Those are all good cricketers. Anderson, Broad.
Yeah.
These are good cricketers. They're not going to get
But
run
they're
over by an average
but they're
Australian side.
inconsistent. That's the problem.
Problem
But
is
they
Stokes-
beat a rampaging South Africa.
Well, the problem is Stokes is going to come into bat, in my opinion. He's going to come into bat with a score at 60 for 4, backs against the wall. And that is pretty much that for our show on World Sports Betting's morning show. Liam, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gary, well played.
Thank you, matey.
Next week you can talk about rugby. Terry, thanks for
Thank
stopping
you.
by.
Thank you.
Rod,
I'm off to the doctors. Yep.
not to the Doctor and Kruger.
Yep. No, Kruger in 5 weeks.
Okay, right, that's pretty much that. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you have plenty winners open a World Sports Betting account today. We'll see you again next week. Goodbye.